Paddy sir, we will start in another 2 minutes.
Yeah,
3
we
minutes.
will
Okay.
start. Yeah,
Yeah,
sharp 4 o'clock.
yeah, sure. So we'll hold on till about 2 minutes and we'll start.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Pam, sir.
Good afternoon, Alice.
Oh, Alice, yeah.
Good
Good to
afternoon,
see you, Alice.
Pulabda.
Are, good afternoon,
Same here,
Alice.
sir.
Great to see you. Welcome.
Same here. Same here. Thank you.
गुड आफ्टरनून ऑल
आप एक डिस्क्लेमर दे दीजिए, आप डिस्क्लोजर दे दीजिए ना that we've been in the apparent
Yeah, I would request everyone to please go on mute. Otherwise, there will be a lot of disturbance in the session. Please keep yourself in mute.
Also, I suggest there should not be any greetings. Too much of greetings is going on.
Yeah. So please go on mute, and we will just start off. Yeah. Okay. Very good afternoon, and welcome you all to the webinar on insights to accelerate 6 months executive development program in labor law for managers. Now, HR managers of modern day with knowledge and skills on labor law are very well appraised by organizations. Good HR skills plus knowledge of industrial laws, labor, and employment laws make a very powerful combination for professional success. I'm sure you'll agree. We are honored to have Dr. P.K. Padhi and Professor Paramjot Singh speak on the key aspects of labor law and about the new labor codes and as to how this new learning through the EDPLLM program can help HR professionals for a thorough understanding of the nuances of labor and employment laws. Before we start, let me take a short time from all of you to introduce Professor Padhi and Professor Paramjot. But ahead of that, let me also share with you what is the context of today's flow. So, post my introduction, Professor Padhi and Professor Paramjot will take you through the agenda of the program today. So that will take about half an hour, 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, we'll give you some insights on the EDPLLM program front, post which we will be opening up for Q&A. Considering our time limit till 5 p.m., so we will be ending our program at about 5:10 at the max. So we should be able to take a few questions from you. Those questions which we can't answer on forum, of course, we will try to respond to you subsequently through mail or any other channel. But yes, keep your questions limited to the agenda of today's session. I would request no personal questions at this level, right? So please allow me to introduce Professor Padhi and Professor Paramjot Singh. So Dr. P.K. Padhi joined as a principal in Utkal University Law College in 1994 after completing his LLB, LLM, and PhD in law. In 2002, he joined XLRI. In his credit, he has published 8 books and published more than 25 articles in national and international journal and visited Dubai, Singapore, Paris, Malaysia, Israel, and Hong Kong for teaching and training assignments. Professor Padhi is a trainer for almost all PSUs, most of the PSUs, namely NTPC, NPCIL, IOL, DVC, ISRO, RBI, SBI, IOCL, Power Grid, GAIL, ONGC, HAL, NHPC, MOIL, GRSC, and many more. Professor Padhi conducts 5-day training program on labor laws for all central labor commissioners since 2004. Almost all ALC, RLC, and Deputy CLC of Government of India has visited XLRI and stayed for a week for the training. He conducts open workshop in all metro cities on contract management and contract labor management. He also conducts training program for private companies as well, like Reliance, Dr. Reddy, L&T, Sandvik Asia, Microsoft, Accenture, Voda, and Aircel. Professor Padhi provides consultancy in labor management, labor compliances, contract and contract labor. management to many companies such as Reliance, JSW, L&T, Godrej, GRSE, NPCIL, SZL, Excel Health, Dr. Reddy, Sandvik Asia, Microsoft, Accenture, and many more. Professor Padi is also advisor to HR Federation of India. His area of interest is labor law and contract management. A warm welcome to Dr. Padi to this forum today. May I now introduce Professor Paramjot Singh. Professor Paramjot Singh is with XLRI since April 2017. He has worked extensively on the legal issues concerning rehabilitation and resettlement of involuntarily displaced tribal people. He was awarded the National Merit Scholarship and the Professor Ghanshyam Das Memorial Gold Medal for his distinction. He completed his master's with specialization in modern Indian history from the Central University of Hyderabad. He has a Bachelor and Master of Law degree from Utkal University. He was awarded his doctoral degree in law for his work on the land rights and enlistments of the tribal people of Odisha. Professor Singh was awarded the Fulbright Doctoral and Professional Research Fellowship to pursue research at the Indigenous Law and Policy Center, Michigan State University, USA. His area of research interest remains constitutional law and labor legislations, land acquisition and R&R in the 5th schedule areas, including populations at BOP levels, and human rights responsibilities in corporate governance and business conduct. I extend a warm welcome to Professor Paramjot, and I would now open the forum to Professor Padi so that he can take it forward from here.
You all are most welcome to our webinar. Let me tell you a small line of this course. Everywhere you can find out from the HR perspective that dealing with the labor law. But in our program, you will find out two new things which are not included, neither any book writer or maybe any of the platform. There is Constitution of India and Indian contract. Why the HR managers or any of the managers, they want to know about the Constitution of India relating to labor law. Yes, Paramjot, because he is dealing with the Constitution.
A very warm welcome to all who are here with us for this webinar. As rightly pointed out by Professor Padi, that in this course that we offer, we want the HR professionals to be introduced into the critical aspects of understanding and then application of various kinds of laws. And that would mean to begin with the domain of labor laws. Why does the Constitution become important? And why do we really have to think about telling you to understand the dynamics of legal applications? Understanding the Constitution is important because all labor laws in general and other laws are also to be tested under the Constitution of India. There are certain legal principles. Now, this is where this course is completely different from others. These legal principles are taught to the HR professionals so that they can develop a critical thinking and also have analytical skills to understand the judicial process, the process of understanding the application of laws. There are two important critical parts. You go to any course, they will teach you, okay, this is the legislation, this is the adjudicative structure, and if this is the problem, the parties go to this adjudicative structure and the adjudication process takes over in this manner. And there is a general exploration of the topical area. How are we a little different? What we do is we first take you to the principles, understand the principles. And each and everybody knows it very well that understanding the principles of law becomes a little difficult if you miss out on the subtleties. Now, it is here that we give you the subtleties with regards to the substantive part as well as the procedural part. Under the gamut of the constitution. So if you are looking at the labor codes and the adjudicative processes, you must know how do they function, what are the principles. Now if you have this, you develop the ability to anticipate contingent situations, contingent legal situations, and then since you have developed this capacity to understand the process and apply the laws, you can intervene in a positive manner, limiting the liability of your organization to in the business environment in which you generally function. And this is what we do with the constitutional part. And all the laws, all the labor codes are tested. We give you case studies. We take you through a kind of a simulated approach to understand and then involve you in the exercises to see whether you are learning properly or you're missing out on some point. Well, that is the process that we undertake. So the pedagogy would be, the theoretical part, the simulated part, the case studies, and then you face the evaluations. And we see that the criticality is reached in terms of the learning and in terms of the application. Okay, coming to the domain of contract law management, which also is attempted in a very different manner. We not only tell you what is the law of contract, but we tell you how to approach the question of contract, the legality of contract, what to avoid in a contract and what to put in a contract so that your approach is foolproof. So we take you through all these different aspects. We don't just stop at this. We also deal with other aspects of the boundary, the legal boundary that organizations confront. And then this approach is synergized to these boundary issues to see that you are able to apply them to all kinds of situations. So this is why we bring in the constitution. This is why we bring in the subtleties and explain the principles of contract law management, so that while imagining a contract, while reading a contract, while drafting a contract, you don't get into any kind of liabilities either for yourself or for the organization in which you work. I hope I made a very brief description of what we are intending to do, and the intent is brought out before you. And I just leave it now to my guru, Professor Padi, who will take ahead of this topic from here. Thank you, sir.
My dear friends, we all are concerned about the labor law. And in the near future, whatever the labor law has been taught to you, or whatever the labor law you are with you, and you know the labor law, all the labor law shall be repealed. The government has already notified in the official gazette all the 4 codes. And all the 4 codes are also having the rules, and the draft rule has also been already communicated to us. We are waiting. When the final rule will be notified in the official gazette, and further also we are waiting, there shall be a date, and when all the 4 labor code will be implemented. One day or other, whenever you will get up from your bed, you will find out whatever you know about the labor law. It has been already taken away. A new thing has come. So it is your duty, and it is the duty of your organization to see that all my HR fraternity should be well conversant with the new labor code. That could be the reason I'm taking you a small discussion, and the title of the discussion is Labor Laws, Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow. what was the labor law yesterday, and what is the labor law of today, and what shall be tomorrow. The great country, and where we are proudly, we can say, we are Indians. Look, the beautiful country. And recently, Mother India was given its crown, which was not there earlier. In a multilinguistic, multi-religion, huge population, and we are living with a great country, that is the India. What India needs today? All the country, developed countries, they have accepted India is a great country. Maybe the leadership, maybe the approach to the world. Now what India needs today? Only some amount of financial support. And we have to generate it. That ourselves. And all the Indian gods, they are looking to India. All the Indian top leaders in the gods fraternity, they are looking to India. They are also very much happy the way the India is developing, the way the India is recognized in the global market. Now they look India, and India needs financial support, industrialization, infrastructure. So the job was given to this God, because Brahma is the creator of the universe and various beings in it. Because he is the God for the infrastructure, universe. So he created a beautiful universe, and that there is an industry. And who is managing this industry? The manpower. Maybe union, and in collaboration with the union and the management, all of the manpower are also created by Brahma. According to the Indian mythology, we all are created by Brahma. But these two groups, they are having the conflicting approach. The workers, they want huge wage, less working hours. And the management wants less investment, high return. So here is a conflict. So therefore, the IR issue will come. And to deal with it, definitely the law is required. To resolve the IR issue, either maybe a preventive measures or maybe a dispute settlement mechanism. Law is highly required. That is the labor law. Now the total labor law, till date, I can divide into 4 phases. 1800 to 1925, 1990, 1991 to 2019, 2019 and thereafter. If at all I look the first page, there is no legal recognition of the union. Dominancy of the capitalist class. No working hours. Wage is decided only by the employer. All the workers are squeezed and they are enjoying out of it because there is no legal support. In 1926 to 1990, we got the Trade Union Act 1926, and we got also the Constitution, which recognizes the fundamental right to form the union. You look, during that time, only approach of the government was employment generation, socialism approach. Profit was not at all the key factor for the government company. Hardly there is any private players. And it was a purely monopoly of the government. and government approach was during that time only a socialism approach. But in 1991 thereafter, liberalization, privatization, and globalization, WTO, TRIPS, and India is the signatory of the TRIPS as well as the member of the WTO. Now the foreign players, they can sell the product in India, and India can go also abroad to sell its product. Cutthroat competition. We are unable to sell that product because our cost to produce that product is very, very high. Then we thought, why not? We'll apply the principle of outsourcing, less cost to company. After 2019, something will come to you. Now the question is coming. All the labor laws, the most important labor law, Trade Union Act, Factories Act, Industrial Disputes Act, these are the, and in that time Workmen Compensation Act, now it is an Employee Compensation Act, 1923. Payment of Wage Act, 1936. That has not been done by the Indian Parliament, that has been adopted by the English people by considering of that time. Look the change of the society. The law, when it was adopted, and there is also a little bit more amendment, in that time, the approach to the law and the lawmaker thought something. Now we are thinking something. There is a huge change from that day to today. What is the duty of the law? The main object of the law is to satisfy the day-to-day issue of today. That has been rightly said. Yesterday law cannot overpower today, and today law cannot paralyze tomorrow. Law needs to be changed. That was the thought of the government. Now my question to this government, whether that is your brainchild that you have brought the 4 labor code. My dear friend, it is not the brainchild of the Narendra Modi government. It was a recommendation of the National Commission on Labour in 2002. They have suggested this law needs to be ramified. All the laws must be brought within the 4 or 5 buckets. Of course, from 2000 to 2019, many government has already ruled this country, but this government thought it to do it. And successfully, they drafted. And in 2019, this is the 4th page. 4 labor code is about to come, 2019 and thereafter. Why these 4 labor codes? Because if at all I'll see today the labor law, it is not that friendly, either from the employee side or from the employer side. Lot of Inspector Raj, huge labor law. And being you are the manager of the different company, you might have come across. I'm giving only one example. If I'm reading to know the definition of wage, and the definition of the wage in the minimum wage is different to that of the payment of wage, that is all different to the industrial dispute, that is also different from the gratuity, ESI, like that. And we all are working for the wage. And if at all I am reading to the Industrial Disputes Act, I am finding workmen. If at all I read today Factories Act, if I am going to the ESI, employee, if Act, employed person. Now the total labor law recast only 2 workers and worker. And there is a common to all and singular definition. Now, under this new 4 code, why? Again, it is coming to my mind. I look the Constitution of India. Already, Professor Paramjot has said, all the labor laws shall be tested through the constitutional mandate. And this Constitution of India prescribes 3 lists: union list, state list, and concurrent list. And labor falls, and the labor falls under the concurrent list. Hence, the parliament and the state, they got the power to drop the labor law. By that process, in India, we got nearly more than 40 central elaboration and around 200 state labor enactment at present. It creates multiplicity, complexity. Hence, amalgamation, reconstruction is highly required. And therefore, the government is bringing these 4 codes. Labor code on wages, 2019, already notified in the official gazette. When it will be implemented, the minimum wage, payment of bonus, and Equal Remuneration Act shall be repealed. We have to read only labor code on wages. Let me tell you, all the HR manager, if I'm reading today minimum wage, I'm getting 1 chapter penalty and another chapter miscellaneous. I'm reading payment of wage, another chapter, within the chapter penalty and miscellaneous. I'm reading the payment of bonus act, 1 chapter penalty and miscellaneous. Reading the Equal Remuneration Act, like that. If at all I'll bring in 1 common, 1 penalty chapter, 1 miscellaneous, by the way, 4 chapters, 4 penalty chapter and 4 miscellaneous chapter is removed, and I'm bringing only 1. That is the idea. When the Labor Code, IR Code 2020, Trade Union Act, Industrial Employment Standing Order Act, and Industrial Disputes Act will be repealed. And in its place, Industrial Relation Code will come into effect. Like that Social Security, EPF, ESI, Maternity Benefit, Gratuity, Employees Compensation Act, the most important act will be repealed. That you are dealing day to day. Whenever I am touching this labor code on health, this is one of the most powerful code. Contract labor, interstate migrant, factory, mines, BOCW, construction, plantation, everything is governed here only. That means, if at all I read all the code, 331 printed pages, all the law. 331. This is the 331 pages. And I have not touched so far as the rule is concerned. Every code is having its rules. I'm sure that you are working, you have no time to read. And if at all also you will read, because from my personal experience, whatever you may be the intelligent or works experience, it needs a thorough discussion with a common platform where you will deliberate your thought, and the XLRI group of the faculty, those who are dealing this type of subject every day, they will also give their thought. Lastly, you will find out what is the real meaning of this particular sentence. We shall tell you how to read the law. We shall tell you how to interpret the law. we shall tell you how to read the law in between the line. That is the job of group of the professors, those who shall be involved for this program. And after that, what for? Definitely the government is for the people, of the people, and by the people. The majority are the employees. Whether the employees shall be benefited or not, is the first question. Whether it shall be a cost to company or not. Whether it is an employers friendly or not. Whether by that process we can attract the foreign players to have the business in India. Now, whenever we see the objective of the total ease of doing business, is the first for most important objectives. Inspector Raj shall be removed. Please have a look this one and this one. The inspector is redesignated facilitator. He shall come to your place. He will facilitate you. He will teach you what is the meaning, and you will see that how the best compliance can be done by you. After that, he will come as an inspector. And today, the inspector are coming whenever they feel to come, but it shall not be like that. You will know beforehand when they are coming. It will be in the portal. And you will know the inspector is coming. And whatever the document you are showing, the inspector will also put these are the document they have shown it, and this is the lacking, and you will give the authenticity. Yes, he is correct. Then only prosecution. And no immediate prosecution, 30 days shall be given to the employer for the compliance. And everything is a time bound. If the government officials are not doing within that time bound, it will be automatically deemed that it has been accepted. That means it will be an ease of doing business. Already I said, there is a definition, common single definition of wages. And really, if you read the definition of wages, you'll find out how to read the law in between the line. And there is a lot of interpretation and calculation. And to have confidence of the investors, our idea or the government idea is to invite the foreign players and also the national players to have the business, because our labor law is not that complexity which was earlier. This is the idea of this government to bring it. Now, if it will come, what will be the immediate effect? Win-win situation. Happy worker, happy management. Why I said happy workers? They will get good amount of package. Let me tell you, you the executives, you are the HR manager, I'm sure that you are not getting the bonus because there is a wage cap. But under the wage code, it is written, even though there is a wage cap for the bonus, whoever is receiving any wage more than the wage cap, it will be deemed as if he is getting that amount of wage for the purpose of the calculation of the bonus. That means if all the employees are entitled to get the bonus, wage, the wage has been defined. Usually the basic pay is very, very minimum for the private company. All they are giving huge benefit as a other allowance, which has been taken care by this government. And for the purpose of the wage, it will be added. And it will be a huge amount, and which will be calculated for the PF, for your gratuity, for your annual leave with wages, for maternity benefit. So happy workers. Now, why the management shall be happy when there is a cost to company? Management shall be happy. Inspector Raj is removed and all the compliance is very smooth. There is no such form, huge form, and compliance will be very easy, and there shall not be much stoppage and hindrance from the union side to stop the business. So he will be happy. And this is the idea of these 4 cores. Now the person, now what the India is looking forward in a long run. Look in the globe. Everyone is looking to India to have the business. And we got also the commitment from the different sectors. Earlier it was also from China. Everyone, they are looking that we should have a business. We should have a establishment or maybe a manufacturing unit in India. Everyone is looking to India to have the business. If we are succeeded, if at all we can attract these important country to have the business, what we are going to get it? Employment generation, purchasing power will be high, foreign exchange, GDP growth, standard of living, India will be the exporter. This is the idea of the government, to bring these new 4 labor code. And if at all it is a succeed, and we are now, yes, we are going to have it. What is the slogan of Government of India? Make in India. That we shall produce. And we have shown to the world that yes, we can produce. Atmanirbhar Bharat will be there. And everything goes as per our thought process, as per our desire. And whatever we are listening till date, when I took birth in this country, I have seen that India is a developing country. Look my age. Till now also I am listening, India is a developing country. When the India shall be developed, and if everything is going on as per our desire, we can see at tomorrow, India developing to developed. And that will be a great reward to our Mother India. That will be a great reward to our Mother India. And we can proudly say, Mother India, you are sovereign, democratic, socialist, republic, and secular in true sense. Mark my language, in true sense. Thank you very much. Take the idea of labor law, yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
So thank you, Professor Padi and Professor Paramjot. It was very insightful, interesting. This was just a snapshot of what the program, would lead to. Of course, the program that Dr. Padi and Professor Paramjot is speaking about was just an encapsulated form of what we're going to take you forward for the executive development program in level of our managers. So we are on the 5th batch. Already 4 batches have been successfully delivered, and it has been pretty successful. All the 4 batches have been, fully packed houses with the responses. And this year we are forming the 5th batch. This is a 6 months program, which is delivered, from the XLRI side, designed and delivered by XLRI. Dr. P.K. Padi is the program director, and he, along with Professor Shantanu Sarkar and Professor Paramjot Singh, will be delivering the program collectively for 6 months, starting April. And the sessions will be live every Sunday mornings. And so you can, at least book your weekends for these sessions, and the sessions will be delivered live on your laptops, just as we are doing today. So it will be highly interactive also. Generally, Dr. Padi's sessions are mostly interactive. So there'll be a lot of open forum discussions and suggestions coming in from both ends. Assessments will be a part of the entire game. And finally culminating down to a campus visit, which will be scheduled during the end of the program. So you have to travel down to the XLRI Jamshedpur campus, which is at Jharkhand, and stay there for at least 3 to 4 days, and that will be the final conclusion of the program. And of course, provided the COVID situation allows the campus to happen. In case the COVID situation does not allow the campus to happen, we will have it, delivered on the digital platform as well. So this is the framework of the program. The program is generally, the course fee of the program is 1,10,000 rupees, which also includes the campus stay arrangement. And this can be paid in installments also. So as we complete the webinar, you will get all the details pertaining to the program, and the contact details also, wherein you can contact and try to gain more information about the program as well. I would encourage all of you to you can post in your queries on the chat. We will try to pick up, we have 15-20 minutes in hand wherein we can respond to few queries based on the chat. In the meantime, I would request Mr. Darayas, in case we can have some questions which are directed to Dr. Patil as well.
So, good evening. And before you put the question, please, don't ask, please, about the level of query. What this section speaks, what this is this, what is the duty of the conciliation officer, what is section 33C2? Because we are not, this forum is not only to deliberate one-to-one. Here, you want to know about this course. Let me tell you, to get a certification from this course, it is really, really tough. I'm telling the backside of the. I'm not inviting, because once you are coming, whenever we shall give the certificate from XLRI, we'll see that you are in true sense, you know the labor law. Number one, there shall not be any recorded version with you. You have to attend, and we shall not allow for recording, because just like boxing cannot be taught or swimming cannot be taught online. Are you getting my point? Boxing or swimming cannot be taught online. This is edge like edge level law. Because we shall tell you, read this paragraph, what is your understanding? Immediately we'll ask others, what is your understanding? And we shall tell you, by showing this and by putting the line, this is the understanding, this is the law, and which is not possible in the recording version. Knowingly and purposefully, we are not giving that facility, that recording, because after listening, you may interpret wrongly. And ultimately, the name will come XLRI. Because whenever you are getting the certificate, it is a banner of the XLRI, and you are giving some wrong interpretation. That means XLRI is giving wrong interpretation to the society. That we shall not tolerate. You shall be evaluated many a times, online, offline, giving the question to your mailbox. You have to meet the deadline, project, like that. All the professors are very, very demanding, let me tell you. 10:30 to 1:30 may be our deliberation, but all 7 days, you have to find out the time to meet our requirement. We are available. Even Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can call us and you can send the mail. We are ready to help you. But don't think that there is a recording version is available for you. Because many of the online that giving the recording, but this program, there is no recording. Now you can ask the question or query.
Yeah, I think Randeep had a question. Randeep, would you want to unmute and ask the question? Randeep Singh.
Yes, sir. Sir, good evening, sir. My question to you is, when these labor codes will be notified, sir, only the act has been passed, enacted, but it is still the rules are not notified, and we don't know when these codes will be effective, sir. So do you have any information?
See,
when? Yes, sir.
No. We are also on depending.
Okay, sir.
Let me tell you, now all the four core notified, that point is your. Now the rules.
Yes, sir.
Rules they have given to the public for their opinion as per the law. They have to wait for 60 days. And after that, please mute your mic, all of you. As per the rule of the country, all the laws shall be given for the public to get their opinion. Now that has been done for all the four code. It has already passed an official gazette. Now we are waiting for the rules. Now draft rule already we have read. As per our experience, because some of the rules and some of the act, XLRI is also involved. Now, the draft rule has come and we are waiting for 60 days. Then it will be finalized. Then it will be notified in the official gazette. Now you are asking me what shall be the date. From the many corners, we are thinking it may be a good reward or a great surprise on Shramik Day. Somebody telling 1st May. In Shramik Day, Labor Day, that will be a gift. Somebody telling April 1st. But if at all you ask me personally, April 1st is too early. April 1st is too early. Of course, it is possible 1st May, but don't take that this is the conclusive. Just like you are hearing from here and there, ministers are telling, some newspapers they are telling, union people they are telling, somebody telling, like that. But I think the way the government is moving, it will come very fast. Yes, sir. Next.
Yeah, Shipra Sharma, you want to ask? Please unmute and ask, Shipra.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry, I was having just some difficulty to unmute myself. So the session has been really insightful. I just have a specific question on the IR codes. So it says that there has to be a grievance redressal committee and the constitution is also mentioned as per the draft rules. So is this, a requirement for all the organizations which don't have the trade unions as well?
See, again, you are asking directly to the question. As because you have asked, to give you respect, I am telling, please refer section 4 of the IR code. Read with the rules. Where there is a 20 and it is a mandatory, the word is shall. Please don't ask of the deep of the labor law. Because this is not the forum to teach you. And because you have asked to give you respect, please read section 4 of the IR code, read the rules they are under, and the word is shall, and it is 20. Union may be there or may not be there, and how to constitute the grievance committee, that is also there. Industrial disputes, if at all it is a one single individual, he may not take the help of the union, he can go directly to the GRC, and after that to conciliation officer, thereafter to industrial tribunal, and article 226 to the High Court, and after 136 by special leave petition to the Supreme Court. This is the structure. But this is the law. We are not going to teach here today. Let me tell you. Yes. Madam Ji.
Yes, please respect Professor Paddy's request about not asking questions that you want to know answers about. Please ask questions about the forum,
because if at all, what is about the course, whether it will be beneficial, whether it is unnecessary, why to kill 3 hours in each Sunday, all the thing, then I can tell. If at all you want to know whether it is beneficial or not, don't listen to us. Don't listen to anyone. There are telephone numbers. There are email. Those who have passed out, they can give you better feedback. And that is the honest feedback. They will say only one thing. Professor Paddy will not allow you to sleep. This is the first feedback you will get it.
Yes.
It may be one Sunday, but you will have a sleepless Sunday, sleepless Saturday. That you will get it. And you will find out it's a very, very Herculean task whenever you are coming to XLRI. Thanks God, in the 4, due to COVID, they could not come. Of course, they missed a lot. And 1, 2, 3, they came to XLRI and they came here for 4 days and they have not slept even a single minute. And always tension whether they will get the document or they will go back without document in empty hand. So this is the rigors from our side.
Yes, sir. So there is Nagendra Prasad, Director HR APJ. Would you want to ask a question?
Director RPG.
APJ.
APJ.
Yeah. Nagendra, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, please.
Go ahead, Nagendra. Okay, we are not getting any audio. Brajesh Prasad, would you want to go ahead and ask a question?
Sir, good evening, sir. This is Brijesh calling from Gurgaon, right, sir. And it was a very insightful session, and I really liked it. And just I have one query, sir. Most of the companies are making changes in their salary structure from 1st April onwards. This law come in effective from May. So, what is the suggestion from your side so that we can tell to my management?
I couldn't get you properly. Please, once more.
In India, sir, most of the salary structure are happening from 1st April onwards, sir. Right?
Yeah.
And the labor law, the which code is maybe effective from April, or I can say May, incoming due, of course. Right? So, any suggestion that we can being HR suggest to management?
Only one line.
We have to keep ready.
Yes. I got your point. Please wait. Please wait till the law is implemented. If at all you want to go proactive, it is better to keep it everything. When the law will come, on the same day, you apply that implementation. Because the wage definition is really a burning issue to all the company. Let me tell you, your question I'm telling. If at all I'm working in any of the IT and ITs and the private company, my basic salary will be 10,000 because there is no such dearness allowance like your central government or by the state government. Other allowance. But all the other allowance is removed, returning allowance. And all the other allowance, even though I'm having 15,000 my basic, but home taking maybe 1 lakh. That means nearly 80,000 or 85,000 is other allowance. Why the company doing? Only to pay 12% of the basic as a PF.
Right, sir.
This cannot be done.
Okay.
This cannot be done.
Right.
And this is the wage definition. Yes, that cannot be done. And government has done a very good thing to catch all the things. And under the wage definition, PSU, they do not have any problem. PSU, they do not have any problem. The real problem will be only the private company, ITs, and others. Because they are keeping the salary package, basic, very, very minimum, only to pay 12% of that amount. Now, this is not possible when the law will come into effect. So you should get ready, and the company should think also, it will be a huge cost to company. Company should get ready for it. And accordingly, company should make a plan and budget.
Yes. There's a question from Chandrali. Chandrali, go ahead and ask a question. Chandrali, go ahead. From Corporate HR from Birla Corp. Chandrali, please go ahead.
Yes. Hi. Good evening, sir, and everyone. Sir, my question is with regards to this executive development program, what is the kind of industry domain that students mainly or corporates mainly participate from? Is it from the manufacturing sector, or is it a mixed group, sir? If you can throw some light there.
Okay. If at all we'll see, all the statistics is available with us, and I have seen few are from manufacturing, few are from service industry, few are from IT industry, few are from the finance guy, few are from the compliance group, and few are from the consultancy, few are also advocates. Those will pursue the labor law. And few are also KPMG, E&Y, like that. And from the Birla, your, I think, AVP was LLM4, your AVP from Birla, not COP, but other by Carbon. And 2 are already registered from the Birla. Because this is a purely mixture. Because we are not focusing only manufacturing. And whenever we are teaching, we are telling, today, you may be in IT, today, you may be in manufacturing. There may be possibility by looking this type of certification, you may change your job. So we are keeping in a track so that there shall be a discussion where not only for manufacturing, and because there are, except Factories Act and Shop and Establishment Act, everything is applicable to you all. That's all. Either in the IT or manufacturing, contract labor is applicable, gratuity is applicable, PF is applicable. Only for the ITs, that is the Factories Act is not applicable, and for the Factories and Shop and Establishment Act is not applicable. Otherwise, all the labor laws are common. It will be applicable to all. Are you getting my point? And the group is a mixture group.
Yeah, Nagendra, you want to go ahead, or then Anamika? Go ahead. Anamika.
Hi, can you hear me, please?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi, good evening to everyone. My question is related to this course. When we are saying that these acts are not yet implemented, then how would be the course material be relevant? Would we be discussing the acts which would not be implemented, or we'll be discussing considering that it will be implemented, hence we should study?
Yes, that is how I have given my presentation. We shall discuss what is the law of the today without thinking something is coming. It may not come. We'll take you on that line. Because the basic principle will be taught to you. And when the new law will come, we'll also give, either new law will come or not during the 6 months. We shall give also that model to you. That means what you are doing today, it will be there with you. That is, the book will be given to you, Labor Industrial Law. 1,000 pages of the book will be given to you. That is the law of today. And another soft copy, or maybe the hard copy during the time, and will be given. If the new code will come, this is the law. Am I clear?
Okay, we'll go to the next one. Akhil Mishra, you want to ask? Akhil, please ask. Akhil, please go ahead and ask. Okay, if not, Akhil.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon all. Sir, I wanted to ask, I work for the GST network where we have a very different kind of an employment and very different kind of an people from the government, people from on the contractual staff, we have people on the roles of GSTM. So how this course can help me or to my colleague on the labor codes, new labor codes?
Okay. Now in your role, there is a contractual?
Yes, we have a lot of contractual people.
Contractual or contract labor?
We have both. We have both.
Oh, you have both. Very good.
Yes.
Whenever you are taking the contractual, they are in your payroll. Am I clear?
No, they are on the third party.
That is the contract labor. They are not contractual.
Okay. And we have a direct contract people also.
Correct. Those who are in the direct contract, they are in your payroll. Yes?
No, they are not a payroll. We are paying a fixed certain amount to them.
Sir, you are not. This is the difference of the labor law.
Okay.
One is contractual, you are telling. That means as if you are giving the contract 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, 2 years.
Right.
They are known as contractual.
Okay.
If at all you are taking from the some other role, for example, off-roll, agency people, they are working, just like your housekeeping, they are known as contract labor. Please tell me whether both are available or one segment is available.
Both are available.
Both are available. So for those who are contractual, you are the employer. Those who are the contract labor, you are not the employer. Either of them, you have made a contract. Will you agree?
Yes.
Yes. And all the contract labor, they are entitled to get at least the minimum wage. That you have to see. That is your responsibility. That is labor law. Number 2, all your contractual, where you are involved directly, you are giving. Under the new labor law, they may be considered sometime FTE, if at all you have written the tenure.
Right.
And for that, there is a labor law. If at all you have not written tenure, there your permanent looks like, then there is a set of labor law. Without labor law, no organization can move in this country.
Okay, next, Anil Kumar. Anil Kumar, Ranjan, please go ahead.
If at all you want to know more than that, my telephone number is available. You can call me. Or if at all I am not lifting the phone, definitely I am there in the classroom or maybe discussing with someone. And definitely I'll give you a call.
Sure, sir. I'll come back to you.
Yeah. Please join the program. Then you will know all of this.
That's what I asked, sir.
Okay.
Anil Kumar.
Any of my pass out student, LLM 1, LLM 2, LLM 3, LLM 4 available today?
Yeah, please unmute.
Anyone? Anyone is available who has already completed this course?
Sir, good evening, Yogesh.
Yogesh, can you tell your personal opinion about this total big group of 400? Look, Yogesh has completed this course. And Yogesh, being your teacher, I'm telling to you, you have to tell the purely what is in your heart. Don't think that your professor is sitting. I want your which feedback? Independent feedback. Please tell to others. That's all. Whether this course is because I think you are working in some of the service industry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Whether you can tell them.
Yeah. So basically, after completion of this course, the first thing I come to know the application of the law. Though we have read the laws, but here the application is most important things. What Professor Padi as well as Paramjot sir has taught us, and I'm not uprising them, but from bottom of my heart I'm saying, after completion of labor law, this course has given me the insights how to perform on day-to-day activity. Like one of the gentlemen has just asked the question. So basically the contract labor and the contractual staff, it's big difference. So when they are teaching, they are giving some case studies also, as well as the live examples also, which gives the enlightenment as well as the interest. So it helped me to perform my day-to-day work in more efficient manner and without any hurdles. So this is my understanding. And apart from that, now I am also developing self. So I asked this professor the questions, both professors, on related to POSH, because this is my inner insight has given me the idea what situation could come in coming future. The anticipation also I understood now. What could be the next? So I'm thinking in that way also. So this is my honest opinion. There is no pressure on me, as you say, as per the Indian Contract Act, Section 15, coercion, force. So it is not on me by you.
Good, Yogesh. Good.
Okay, sir. And we have to complete this webinar?
Yeah, I think,
an-
yeah, Professor Padi has a class to attend. He has told us earlier that, in the paucity of time, what I would request, for all of you, that we will, our team also will be in touch with you, of course. As soon as we finish, by the late evening, you will be receiving the details on your mailbox. Please keep an eye on that. We will also share you the contact details. In the meantime, Abir, if you could share the contact details so that, if anybody who is wanting to contact us, they should be able to contact us also. And, I would, definitely, want to thank, Professor Padi, Professor Paramjot for sharing their valuable time today at this hour, and, sharing an enlightening session with all of the audience here. And I would also like to thank the audience for coming in today despite their busy schedule. Please keep an eye on your mailbox, and we definitely hope that you join this program. We have very limited seats. Just to share with you, the past batches have been houseful. The past batch number 4 has been with 71 participants. We don't go beyond the threshold of 70 to 75 in a batch. So keep an eye. Already many of them have registered also. So we are midway, and we will be starting the program during April. So the faster you apply, it is better for the program, so that you don't miss a chance in batch number 5. For any queries, you can call this number, which is flashing on your screen, or you can email at pritesh.mondal@vcnow.in. And thank you all for attending the webinar today, and we look forward for more such interesting engagements in future also as well. Thank you, Professor Padi. Thank you, Professor Paramjot.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
very
you,
much.
all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
If
Thank you
anyone
so much,
has
sir.
any program related
so much,
questions,
sir. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Please
sir.
forward the course details.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very
Yeah,
much.
sure,
Thank you
sure.
very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
And
Thank you,
fees
sir.
structure also.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
We
Thank
will.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Kindly just rethink for the
Thank you so much,
instructors
sir.
also.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
So
Sir,
we'll be
please provide
receiving
course
course
details, sir. It was a nice
detail and
session.
fee structure on my email ID also.
Yes. We will share it to your respective email ID, the same email ID wherein you have registered for the webinar.
Okay.
Right?
Fine. Thank
Yeah.
you so
Please,
much.
please keep a track of that. Yeah.
Thank you. So today or tomorrow or Monday?
No. We will be sending it today only. By by late evening you'll receive it.
Sure.
Check your
Fine,
mail at
fine.
around 8 o'clock. You'll receive it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye.
Sir, is there any chance to get the recording of today's video?
We don't share the recordings because Dr. Padi doesn't want his recordings to be shared.
Okay. No issue, sir. No issue. Thank you.
Can you share this presentation, sir?
Presentation, I think we should be able to share. Okay, fine.
Yeah, because I was late for joining, so I just joined at last moment. I could not see much. Yeah.
Sir, please send the presentation.
Okay. We will share commonly to everyone. Okay, we'll share it to everyone. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Abir, just having a last question. Is this course completely affiliated from Accelerate itself, or if there is some other people are also affiliated with this?
This is a full-fledged Accelerate program. This is fully managed by Accelerate, designed and delivered by Accelerate. VC Now is the technology partner for delivering the program. So in this certificate, you will not have any mention of any brand other than Accelerate. So the certificate will come from Accelerate only. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can I get Padi sir's number?
Okay, Padi sir's number is available on the website also, Accelerate website. That is a desk number.
Okay.
Generally, we are not, comfortable sharing the mobile number, of course.
Okay.
But either you can go to the website and check his number. It is readily available in the faculty listing.
Yes.
Else you can get in touch with us at this number. We will share it with you. Right?
Okay. Thank you.
You
Thank
can
you.
send us the email on this email,
Yeah,
and if it's relevant, we'll share it with him, and he will respond.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Then. Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I had two questions. So some courses in XLRI, they actually make you come to the campus for a few days. Does this course also have such a?
Yes, yes. As I said that, this is a 6 months program. During the end of the course, you are expected to travel to the campus for 3-4 days, So,
Okay.
The course concludes with the campus component, wherein you have to appear for a final exam and you get the certificate awarded at the campus only. Right?
Okay. So the thing is, I just registered for this course, so I wanted to know when I will be able to get the invoice for this.
So, for those of you, have you already made the first tranche payment?
Yes, yes.
You have already done. So, very soon our team will be in touch with you.
May I answer this?
Yeah.
So basically, you can just log into the portal where you have already, paid and completed the registration form. So over there you will see a tab wherein, you will have to click on that and download the invoice. So the invoice is, generally available after 72 working hours. So
Okay, so here the invoice tab is not there. Payment detail tab is there.
Yes. So 1 second. So basically over there you will get a, you will see the payment details, and in front of that you will get a link which says download invoice. So it will be activated after 72 working hours.
Acha, okay, because I can see that it is already showing that paid amount is something, then payment details and status receipt yet to generate. Okay,
yes,
so when
it is yet to generate. So after maybe on Tuesday you may again come back and log in and check. You will be able to download it.
Acha, okay. And do I need to fill every other thing? I mean, like profile, upload
Yes.
SOP, upload photo, upload credentials.
Yes, yes.
Everything,
it is,
right?
It is mandatory. Yes.
Acha, okay. Secondly, when is the program getting started? What is the date?
So as of now, it is in the month of April.
So we'll start.
Sorry?
We are starting during April.
Acha, because on the course brochure it was written in March.
Yeah, it is written in March. So we got a feedback from most of the aspirants that March being yearly closure, and
Okay.
there is a lot of pressure with people. So plus there are certain corporates also who are wanting to sponsor with the new budget. So generally last year also we had almost about 20-25 people from Indian Oil Corporation. So companies like Indian Oil and other companies also sponsor people for the program. So they have needed some extra time. So going to the March end and the extra time required, we have kept the start date as mid of April. But mid of April we are starting for sure.
Okay. Secondly,
Sorry, I joined late. What is the course name, sir?
Executive Development Program in Labor Law for Managers, EDP LLM.
Okay.
Batch number 5.
So I mean, after this, is there some some passing criteria post the program, or some exam is there?
Yeah, of course. So any XLRI program or be it from any premier institute, they would definitely have the assessment criteria to give you a completion certificate. So you would not receive a certificate of participation, but you will receive a certificate of completion, which is more valuable than a certificate of participation. So of course there will be regular quizzes. Professor Padi also tries to keep the forum very, very engaging also, so that you can do participative learning. So learning is not one way. So he encourages people to participate and debate and discuss about forums and other stuff. So it is going to be a very enriching journey, and a lot of learning is going to happen on table.
So what is the fees, sir, total?
The 6 months course fee is 1,10,000 rupees plus GST, 18% GST.
Okay.
It can be paid in installments. So initially.
2 installments or 2 installments?
No, initially you have to pay 25,000. Second one is 50,000, and the last one is 25 plus 10.
25, 50, 25 and 10.
So 25, 50, and the last one is 35.
35.
In terms of the campus visit, which is the last leg.
Regarding the, the start of the program or anything, would there be communication through mails or anything?
Yeah. Of course, you will be receiving full-fledged communication from our side regarding the start of the program, and there will be a technical orientation before the start of the program, just to take you through the technicalities, what is the expectation. So it will all happen in a proper flow.
Acha, okay. And just one last question here. The classes would be on Sunday only, right?
Sundays morning, 10:30 to 1:30 is the fixed slot, right?
Okay, and on Sundays only, right?
Only Sundays.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Siddharth. I would like to reiterate my question on the last leg of visiting the campus. So we expect that everything's going to be normal by that time, but if there is any unfortunate, like we are seeing that there are certain cases are going up, and again there is a hold on travel. And I understand last year also we did not have the campus visit.
Yes.
So how are we planning it this year, and how does the fee structure remain to be in that case, the 10,000 extra that is there for the
So
campus?
I will tell you, how does that happen? So, in case the campus is not happening, so the equal number of hours which is delivered on campus. So if you go to the campus, a per day engagement is about 4 to 5 hours minimum. 5 hours is the engagement time per day for your classroom session. So that amount of number of hours will be compensated on the digital platform.
Okay.
And the fee remains same only. So there is no change in the fee structure.
Okay, the fee would remain same, and this is what we did the last batch as well.
Yes.
And after
in the last batch, the fee was bit lesser. I think about 10,000 rupees lesser.
Yes.
So this year it has increased.
Yeah, because last year when the visit was there, the 10,000 was curtailed. That's what I knew.
Right.
And after passing out, all such students, do they get an alumni status or no?
No, they don't get, because this does not fall under the purview of the alumni status. But if you do further more programs from XLRI, and if your number of hours are getting to that level of getting an alumni status, you will be eligible for an alumni status.
All right. Thank you.
So what about, suppose if you need some reference of people who has completed the course last year, let's say on the 4th batch, to get a view of how the course was, something like. Is it possible to get the contact details or email ID of them?
Yes, 100% it is possible. So what you can do, you can just write in a personal mail to pritish.mondal, and we will try and give you at least 3-4 names or 4-5 names whom you can contact. Although Dr. Padi is very open towards sharing all numbers commonly all across to everyone, but just respecting the time of the other person, and he doesn't get a call within his working hours. So we will share you some numbers wherein you can contact. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And one more last question from my end, sir. Yeah. And what is the criteria to get the idea that the person has been successfully completed this course or not? Is there will be some examination, or how is the passing marks really going on that?
So most of the assessments are all the courses are based on grades. So generally what will happen, the assessments decision of the assessment will be taken by each faculty by his own style. So it could be a mix of quiz, it could be a mix of hard copy exam, online exam, or any other mediums. But yes, there will be assessment for every subject. And based on the assessment, you will finally get a grade sheet. And one more very importantly, very important stuff is that the person who ranks the highest, Dr. Padi awards a special certificate of recognition for the top performer. It comes from the XLRI tag. So that is also an added benefit. So for the last 4 batches, we have done that. So the top ranker gets 2 certificates. One is the completion certificate, and one is the rank certificate also.
Okay, only for the top person.
Yeah. The top scorer. Yes.
Okay. And you said there will be kind of assessment, right? That will be on a weekly basis, or at the end of this course you'll be having something like that.
So one main exam will happen at the end of the course.
Okay.
But general assessments will be in the form of quiz. Professor Padi is very fond of WhatsApp quizzes. So he might do a WhatsApp, suddenly open up a WhatsApp quiz during a classroom session. So there are different forms of assessment which are there, but pretty manageable, not to worry about that. Yeah.
Okay, you meant to say the quizzes will be on the classes itself, interactive classes itself. At the end of this program, we'll be having separate exam. It could be. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks a lot for.
Sir, only one question, sir. Sir,
Yes.
only one question.
Please.
Sir, if somebody misses a class for some genuine reason, is there any alternative?
So, we don't record the sessions, owing to the, IPR regulation. So we don't record any of the sessions. The best way, generally, what the other batches have done is that, see, of course, if you have to earmark a Sunday, if on a Sunday morning you miss the class, it's very unfortunate. So, but you have to mentally get prepared that, well, 6 months, so many Sundays I have to devote to my studies. But if at all you miss out, you have to be in touch with your peers through which you can gather the information and carry it forward. Although your attendance has to be minimum 75% overall. So you still have the scope of missing 1 or 2 classes, but that makeup of study you have to do through your peer learning and through your self-learning.
Okay. Thank you.
So this exam has to be in XLRI campus or what?
No. See, exam either can happen on the XLRI campus or it can happen on your desktop also through proctoring, remote proctoring.
Okay.
So based on the COVID situation, that will be decision will be taken on that.
Okay, fine. So we will be getting the details of course and registration by today evening.
Yeah. You will get it today. Yes.
Okay, fine, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
What is the criteria for selection, sir? Like you said, the batch set is no.
Yeah. So you have to apply online through a link which we will share with you. And in order to apply online, your minimum eligibility has to be you have to be a graduate with minimum 2 years of work experience. That is the minimum criteria to apply. And once you apply, you have to post all your details and make the initial application fees of 25,000 plus GST. And after you have completed it, then you will receive a confirmation from your side that you have been progressing. In case your application is rejected for any reason, you will be intimated and your money will be refunded. If at all for any reason you fall short of, but generally if you are meeting the selection criteria or the eligibility criteria, and if you have a good HR profile, you are generally selected for the program. So there is no assessment or interview as such. Any other question from anyone? Okay, fine. If you don't have any other questions, so please, check your mailbox at around 8 o'clock. You will be receiving the mail details with the details of the program, the brochure, the link, and everything. And please go ahead and apply. The faster you apply and you make the payment and close it, the assurance of being a part of the batch 5 will be much more profound. All the best for attending the session today. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.